Is it possible that a stone from the breastplate of the high priest has been found? I mean, the high priest from the temple, Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. Now, the story is that the Thurim and the Urim and the Thurim and the Ephod, the breastplate worn by the high priest, disappeared after Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians sacked Jerusalem in the 6th century BC. But the story is that a mysterious sardonyx stone was reportedly given to one of the crusaders by the high priest in 1189, one of the crusaders being a member of the Knights Templar. This was a thank you for freeing Jerusalem from Muslim control. Well, this stone has been handed down generation to generation in the family of this particular crusader, finally ending up in the possession of an elderly woman in South Africa. She wants to remain anonymous, and you'll understand why in a moment. This stone, what makes it so unusual is that there is an inscription inside the stone, but there are no marks on the exterior, on the outside of the stone. Think about that. An inscription inside the stone with no marks on the outside. Now, an analysis of the script indicates that it's Hebrew from about 1000 BC, give or take a couple hundred years. That's the time of King David. The stone has been appraised, reportedly, at being worth between $175 and $225 million. Hence, the woman's desire for anonymity. The current owner has contracted with an agent who is now looking for investors who want to bring that stone back to Israel.
Take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the names of the tribes of Israel. 6 names will be on each stone, naming all the tribes in the order of their ancestors' births. Engrave these names in the same way a gem cutter engraves a seal. Mount the stones in gold settings. Fasten the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as memorial stones for the people of Israel. Aaron will carry these names before the Lord as a constant reminder. The settings are to be made of gold filigree, and 2 cords made of pure gold will be attached to the settings on the shoulders of the ephod. With the most careful workmanship, make a chest piece that will be used to determine God's will. Use the same materials as you did for the ephod. Fine linen cloth embroidered with gold thread and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. This chest piece will be made of 2 folds of cloth, forming a pouch 9 inches square. 4 rows of gemstones will be attached to it. The first row will contain a red carnelian, a chrysolite, and an emerald. The second row will contain a turquoise, a sapphire, and a white moonstone. The third row will contain a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst. The fourth row will contain a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. All these stones will be set in gold. Each stone will represent one of the tribes of Israel, and the name of that tribe will be engraved on it as though it were a seal. In this way, Aaron will carry the names of the tribes of Israel on the chest piece over his heart when he goes into the presence of the Lord in the holy place. Thus the Lord will be reminded of his people continually. Insert into the pocket of the chest piece the Urim and Thummim, to be carried over Aaron's heart when he goes into the Lord's presence. Thus Aaron will always carry the objects used to determine the Lord's will for his people whenever he goes in before the Lord.